Next one from at Perry Elias 08448. How will Brian Hartline fare at offensive coordinator? Will they allow Julian Sayin to pick up free yards?
If they don't, then they're crazy. But in terms of how Brian Hartline will fare at OC, let's keep in mind that he's coordinated. He's not called plays. But if you were ever to get your first full-time opportunity to call plays, there's no better opportunity. There's no better situation than what Brian Hartline has here, other than the fact that he's got an unknown quarterback. If you had a more proven quarterback, then there'd be no reason that you shouldn't be successful, because he's learned from Ryan Day and Chip Kelly, two of the best play callers in college football history, or at least if you want to say the last 20 years, two of the best. He's got all kinds of skill talent to get the ball to make his quarterback happy. So that reason alone, and he's got a good understanding of the passing game. Ryan Day said, he's going to continue to work on his understanding or his feel for the running game, but everything is set up for him to succeed. And so I would expect him to do so, but that's putting quite an assumption on the quarterback as well. But again, we should assume a quarterback at Ohio State is going to succeed for all of the same reasons, all of the people around him, coaching around him, the players around him. And in terms of picking up free yards, I'm expecting if Jeremiah Smith is lined up and there's somebody 12 yards off of him, just throw it to him. Those sorts of things. Just get it right to him. And some short yards stuff to get the quarterback feeling well, kind of feeling good, when you're in a shooting slump, if you can get some free throws, that sort of thing, and just build up some confidence. So I think they're going to look for ways to make things as easy as possible for Julian Sayin this season.
Well, and the pick up free yards thing, I wondered if that was Julian Sayin scrambling. Hey, no one's open. Mm-hmm. Just go ahead and run for 5 yards and slide and do that. That's how I interpreted that piece of the question. But you're right. I mean, if something's open, they're going to take the free open thing, because if you're going to play 12 yards off Jeremiah Smith and Ohio State doesn't take advantage of that, guess what? You're just inviting them to continue playing 12 yards off of him, and you have to take what they're giving you to a certain degree. And if they keep doing that and you're picking up 3 yards at a pop instead of 8, then you do mix it up a little bit more. But you have to, if in that case, you're going to take what they're giving you. And I do think they're going to be okay with Sayin running. He is not Braxton Miller. He's not Cardale, he might be Cardale Jones. He's not Braxton Miller. He's not Terrell Pryor necessarily running the ball, but he can get out there and he can pick up yards with his legs. Much more of a much better runner than Kyle McCord, I would say. Probably better runner than a Dwayne Haskins. Probably better runner than a C.J. Stroud was for most of his career, just because he just didn't run. Not that he couldn't run, but he just didn't run. I think you've got a quarterback room where there's probably not an enormous drop-off from QB1 to QB2. This is not the Justin Fields to Chris Chugginoff kind of year. This is a year where you've got a couple guys who I think they're feeling decent about. And so that means you're maybe a little more willing to run. And if someone if you get banged up a little bit and you need to come out for a drive or two, you're probably okay with, if it is Julian Sayin, then you put Lincoln Kienholz in and you're probably okay with doing it. And if, Lincoln Kienholz, he can run as well to a certain degree. So I think, yes, you're going to see the quarterback run. And as Tony said, you've got Brian Hartline is as set up to do a good job and to fare well in his first season as a offensive coordinator, as just about as a play caller, as just about anyone. All the stuff that you mentioned, figuring out the run game. They do have Tyler Bowen, who has called plays before. He's kind of helping with the run game calls and the run game coordinator role. So you have about as much of a support network as you possibly can. And you also have Ryan Day, who's going to be on the headset and going to be hearing all of the calls and be able to give you some feedback if he disagrees, or if he, hey, think about this. Hey, think about that. I know Ryan Day wants to let Brian Hartline, let go of the back of the bicycle seat and let him pedal off down the street. But, he is there to hold the back of the bicycle seat if needed at some point, or to, provide some feedback. Hey, think about this, or hey, if they show you, if you're seeing this coverage, think about that. You're going to have you're going to have instant feedback from a guy who is pretty well established as one of the best in the nation to do this.
Yeah, and they're going to be talking constantly. So, yeah, there's going to be plenty of feedback from Ryan Day.